morning, everyone, or good afternoon, or no, not good evening, because it is morning and it's very cloudy. It is also raining. I actually have my umbrella here. Oh, I think it stopped. Okay, let me close the umbrella. And this is going to be a short vlog using my ZV-1. That's my newest vlogging camera. I am using it in shutter priority because I want to make sure that the shutter doesn't go below or over 50. Don't ask me why, but everybody says that's the perfect one. The color profile, I am using the, I think, standard. I reduced a little bit of the contrast and the exposure just because I copied off someone who seems to be a professional. So I am not a professional person. I am also using the built-in microphone. Okay, so let me see if I can put on the ND filter here and see if there's any difference. I turned on the ND filter and I just found out that you cannot do that if the camera is recording. You have to stop recording, turn it on, and it is so overexposed. Why is that? It is really terrible. And I am on f11. So as you can see, the ND filter is not enough for this sort of situation. So I think I'm gonna have to increase my shutter speed a little bit. And my ISO, oh gosh, this is not good. So this is the intelligent movie profile. And I still think that it's overexposed. I don't see much of a difference. Look at that, you see? This, oh. You see the shutter is going from 160 to 200, 230. So it really changes according to the situation. And maybe this is the best solution if you are outside because you never know how much light you're gonna have. I'm gonna leave in the intelligent movie. So I'm using the built-in microphone with the wind muff on. I hope it's sounding good. It is windy. You can see that. I'm also going to turn on, okay, defocus. I turned on the defocus because I want to see if I can get that nice unfocused, defocused background, blurry background. Okay. So here there's not much light. Oh, here I am on my favorite spot. I am also holding the camera with my arms stretched, and this is the field of view that you get. Also, I am not using, let me see, I think I'm using standard stabilization. I am not using active. Let's change to the active and see what happens. Okay, so now I have active stabilization, and then of course it crops a lot, and I don't like that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn it off, go back to standard. Okay, and I'm back to standard. I am not using a tripod, so that means this is as much as I can stretch my arm without getting tired, because even though this camera is very light, I mean the position, if you stay then that long in that position, it's not really nice. You know what? Let's walk inside this thing here. I just love it. Oh, I love it here. Oh, that's beautiful. So you see, I am using the steady shot, just standard. Not active. Maybe active is good if you are using and you're not standing in front of the camera. Let's change it. Okay, so now I'm using the active stabilization. And again, if you are filming something else, then maybe this is a perfect thing to do. Hello there. Let's zoom in a little bit on this little guy here. Hi, baby. Hello. Hi. You're so cute. You're so alone there. Where are your friends? So as you can see from the active stabilization, if you're filming something else, is great. But if you're filming yourself, then it's too tight. Let's go back to standard. And we're back to standard. And now I'm filming myself, because then I have a little bit more room to show my beauty face. Oh, by the way, talking about beauty, I have that horrible filter off because I think it's so fake. And you need to see all my flaws. So I don't care about that filter. That's for beauty vloggers. I'm not a beauty vlogger. I'm beautiful, but I'm not a beauty vlogger. Okay, so again, this is a very quick... Oh, I think the guys, I think they were actually cleaning here. Look at that. They were cleaning here before. Okay, we're gonna have to cross that. Here it's me with the standard stabilization. Not good. It's a little bit annoying because if you have to switch from your face to something else that you want to show, if you're showing something else, it's good to have active stabilization on because it's much better. And of course, if you have a tripod or a self stick that gives you a little bit more room, then you might keep that when you're filming yourself. Otherwise, you might want to stick with the standard and try to be as steady as possible, which is not my case. Oh my goodness. You see, there's a lot of overexposure there. Look, so overexposed, and it's terrible. I actually bought a ring to attach to the front of the lens, and then I can attach a 32 ND filter, and that might help in the situation. So I've already ordered that on Amazon. I'm waiting for it to come back. I already have the filter. I'm just waiting for the ring, the adapter. I think they were going to I think they were going to deliver it today. Not sure. But anyway, I still have time to do another video for you testing the ND filter and external, because the built-in, as you can see, look at that. It is on and it's very overexposed. And I am also using the intelligent movie. Wait. I changed it to shutter priority to keep it at 50, and and the aperture is going by 5, 4.5. It's changing according to 5. You see, ISO is at 160 because I also kept it in auto, but the minimum is 125, and I think the maximum I left at 6400. But still, see, it's very overexposed. Terrible. Let me show you what that should look like. See, this is how it should be looking like. I mean, I know it's gray, but it's not that overexposed. Here's a little bit dark, you see here, but the sky is very gray and it's very windy. But the problem here is that I have my shutter speed at 400, which is not ideal if you really want to have the movie experience. So yeah, we do need an ND filter, an external ND filter. And now I'm back to intelligent movie mode. I'm not sure I like it because look how overexposed that sky is. I mean, I don't know. I don't think I like it. But anyway, if you don't understand anything about cameras, like me, you really want a camera that you turn on and it can do most of the things that you need to, especially if you're vlogging. If you are in a closed environment, like in your house, you can actually control everything. But if you're outside, you can't control anything. You can control the lights, you can control the noise. So you need something to help you. And apparently this intelligent movie mode is doing it. But the screen is terrible because if you are look, if you are outside, this screen is not very bright. And this is one of the things that I don't like about it. Again, the fact that it doesn't have a touch screen like usually the normal Canon cameras. Sorry, no shade. It is very annoying when you have to change settings because you have to go in and push all those buttons and use the dial until you get to the place where you want. Whereas when you have a Canon and you have that touch screen, it's so much easier for you. You just go straight to what you want to change and you just change it. But that doesn't happen here, so this is really a drag. Again, I'm not criticizing. I'm just saying what I think about this camera. The camera is really great. I love the fact that it's so small and so light, but my arm is getting sore now because I'm always in this position. So anyway, just testing. So we're back in the house and now I have a more controlled environment, thank God, because the light outside is so bad. Here's what I think of the footage that I made outside. The things that I want to talk about. The footage is not all that bad. I actually liked it. And the first thing I want to mention is that I did not film it in 4K. Everything was filmed in 1080p because, first of all, the battery is not very good on this camera and my battery was not completely full, so I didn't want to run the risk of running out of battery. And the second, my SD card was only 64 gigabytes, so 4K takes a lot of space, so I didn't want to run the risk of also running out of space. I didn't know how long I was going to record. Anyway, so everything was filmed in 1080p as well as this last part of the video. So the first thing I want to talk about is the movie modes. I started, as you remember, if you remember, I started filming in shutter priority because that's basically the mode that I prefer, because that way I can control the shutter to make sure that it stays at 50 because I usually film in 25p. So that's what I wanted. But the thing is that when you have a shutter set at 50, you will run sometimes into problems of overexposure, as you could see in the video. So I tried to use the intelligent movie mode, which is the one that they advise you to use because the camera decides everything for you. But the problem is that even though that mode works very well, depending on the situation, it still gives you that situations where you will be overexposed. So the use of an ND filter, I think, is very important. Even though the ND filter was on, it was still not giving me the result that I wanted. So like I mentioned in the movie, I've ordered an adapter to put in front of the lens so I can use a filter, an ND filter that I already have. And when that adapter comes in, I will attach it to the camera and run another test to see if that will help the overexposure problem. But the thing is, if you are using a camera in fully automatic mode, then of course that will happen sometimes. I mean, unless you are really paying attention to every single scene that you are filming, you will run into those types of problems. I mean, this camera was released especially for vloggers, and vloggers normally don't have the time to think about what they're doing. They just want to turn on the camera and start filming. And sometimes you cannot control the situation. So this is what the camera is for. But of course, if you know a little bit more about cameras, I don't know everything. I know a couple of things because I'm a curious person. But so if you know that you can apply a couple of manual settings that will make your footage look better, then of course this camera will allow you to do that. And that's the beauty of it. Even though it's a very compact camera, especially for vloggers, just turn it on and start recording, you still have the possibility to apply some manual settings to make your footage look better. And that's what I was trying to do. So in that case, you will need a couple of things. An ND filter, an external ND filter, I believe that would be very important. The other thing that I wanted to mention is stabilization. The active stabilization on this camera seems to be really good. However, if you are someone like me who walks like a little dinosaur, you know, I don't have a smooth walking. And when I'm filming, I'm just walking and filming, and I tend to move a lot. I shake a lot, you know, and that's the way I am. And I don't think there is enough stabilization in the world that can fix that. I've never tried a gimbal. I'm not sure if a gimbal would work. Oh, but actually, I do have a tiny gimbal, which is the Osmo Pocket. It is a tiny gimbal. And even with that gimbal, I still get some shaking in the image. So the problem is me. It's not the camera. The stabilization is good. I am the problem. So, think about that. But the thing with the stabilization is that if you use the active stabilization and you are filming yourself, the image is cropped in a little too much, and the lens is not that wide already, and if you apply the active stabilization, it will crop in a little even more, and then all you see is your beautiful face on the screen. If that's what you're going for, then you're fine. But if you really want to show a little bit more, the active stabilization will be a problem if you are filming yourself. If you're filming something else, that will be perfect, as you could see in the footage. But if you are really filming yourself in a vlogging situation, then I think the standard mode would be better, even though it will shake a little bit more, but it will give you a little bit more room. Or you can also use a tripod or a selfie stick to, distance yourself a little bit more from the camera and give you a little bigger frame. Then you can apply the active stabilization. But I personally don't really mind if there is shaking in the image, because when it comes to vlogging is not like a movie. You don't need to have, that's what I think, you don't need to have everything smooth in your footage when you are vlogging, because vlogging is all about being natural and recording the moment, and you don't really need it to be perfect, because otherwise it will be a little bit unnatural. It's just like the soft skin mode. I didn't try it. It was actually the first time I turned on the camera, the soft skin mode was already activated, and I didn't really pay attention. When I looked back in the movie, and I thought, oh my god, what is that? It's not for me. Okay, I don't need the soft skin special effect, because I think it looks really fake. So if you like that, great, but it's not something that I will be using. This is just a personal decision. The microphone, I think the microphone is really good. I'm sitting very close to the camera and you can hear me very well. And even outside with the lots of winds, the wind muff also worked very well. It is a directional microphone, which means that the sound, it will sound better when the subject is in front of the camera. So if you're talking to the camera like I am now, your voice will be very clear, loud and clear. But if you're standing behind the camera, depending on the distance that you are from the camera, the voice will be a little bit muffled, but you still can hear the person talking. And what else that I wanted to talk about? I think that's what I wanted to talk about this camera. I love the fact that this camera is so small that you can just throw it in your pocket or in your bag, and it's always there for you. I know that we all have, like most of us have a smartphone, and smartphone nowadays they have very good cameras, so you still can get a very good footage with the phone. There are lots of people out there who just vlogs with a phone. But if you want a camera to do a little bit more, uses some manual settings, then I think this camera is really good. Even though Sony released a couple of days ago an upgraded version of this camera, which is an APS-C sensor, I still think that the ZV-1 a year later is still a very good choice. So if you are looking for something other than a smartphone to vlog and to take pictures, I don't know, maybe this would be a good choice for you. So this was the video for today. If you have any questions, just leave them down in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Have a fabulous day. Bye!